Hello YouTube, and how are you doing on this fine, lovely, well, I usually say afternoon, but I really can't say that now, as the sun is literally just rising to the left of me, as you can see from one half of my face. I wanted to bring you a little bit of a different type of video, or maybe it's the same type of video for my channel or whatever, I don't know. Buck always claims to be a survival company. I'm not taking that away from them, and I'm not saying it's not. But one thing I am saying is, for a knife survival company, their actual blade, as I'm counting as the straightened edge instead of serrated for now, so we're going to forget about this serrated, is very small, along with this, along with the curve. The only complaint that I have, like right there, is one of the best things about a good survival knife is when you can make a one branch fire. For those of you who don't know what that is, or you're not really into survival stuff, a one branch fire is when you take a branch that either has fallen off a tree or you cut off a tree yourself, and you turn into about 6 different logs, using the smallest pieces for kindling and the larger pieces as actual pieces of wood. Now, survivability with the knife is not a bad deal, and actually, if you look, I do like. Now, for those of you who don't know, this has been my EDC for about, I don't know, I want to say a year now, a year to 2 years now. The small one frame, the frame is the frame lock as well. If you can see it right there. So, and I've always liked that, it's tiny, small. So it was really able to fit anywhere. But one thing, sorry, there was a bug right there. One thing I have found is with this small blade area, my options for kindling has been limited. Now, I remember when I first got this knife, it was good, it was decent. The sharpen on it was okay, it wasn't hair shaving or anything like that. Over times, I've put my own sharpen on the blade. As you see, it's been worn down so much. Even, serrated on the other edge has been just worn down. And one thing I do with kindling is I'll actually start shaving the wood. Giving you paper thin to at least thinnish looking hairs, or whatever you want to call it, which on the inside are usually dry. But with that, how small the blade is for comparison is right there. So they try to, come down and cut on an angle to get those small, hairs or kindle, if you want to say, I found to be very difficult. I've done chopping with this knife plenty of times. I've used it on many of things. That is just one of the things that I found to be a little more difficult using a type knife that has a serrated edge. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with this having a serrated edge if the straight blade was not so small. Again, the straight blade of what you can actually use when, kindling and stuff like that is about that big. Now, this is only about that big. The many uses I've found for this is literally not too many. I found it good if I ever needed to stab or make a straight cut on an edge. But you know what? I've also found a scalpel type blade to do more of a curving motion, to be more smooth. Sorry, I had dirt on my glove right there. To be more smooth. So, and even though it comes to a point like this, you know, if you ever wanted to make straight cuts, you know, it's okay, it gives more of a survival type look to it, but it really provides no benefit to how you would use this knife. Now, yes, I know some of you, you know, are going to say, well, I can always work with a blade that small. You know, that's good. But, you know, known as a survivalist, or not really known as, but what I do, you know, this knife, you know, for EDC stuff, it is perfect. But when you're actually out there in the wild, you know, and you're trying to do stuff with this knife, I found projects to be a little more difficult than straight curved blades. Then again, this has been my EDC knife for about 1 to 2 years now. And honestly, if I didn't like it, I probably would have just gotten rid of it in the first week, you know what I mean? So for it to even stay in my possession or my pocket for that long, you know, I had to feel that there was some benefit to using this knife besides, you know, a $2 straight blade that I could get from Walmart or something. And here comes, you know, as you guys know, I have a wolf who was just, you know, playing, friggin' running up and down the backyard, which she does all the time. She'll just take off running in one direction after absolutely nothing. But, and just to show you, you know, I have a piece of thick branch back there, which I'm going to get. Now, in the woods, you know, to make kindling, I'd usually try to find a branch like this. But, you know, as I try to get, you know, kindling, it's not that I think this knife bites off more than it can chew or anything like that, you know. But I just feel that you got to put a little more effort into collecting those, you know, kindling than needed. See, like, those hairs are what I'm talking about. Those are what I'm trying to get, you know. And I just feel like a straight blade would be able to get, like, more, you know, and I guess thinner is what I want to say, because these, I feel like this is just kind of shaving it off, you know. And I'm not trying to down-talk the company, I'm really just trying to say my opinion on it, because of what I found out, you know. And, you know, if I was to go in for chopping, you know, it works good. If you guys want to see me do a whole test, you know, with this knife or with any of my other knives, just let me know. But I really kind of just want to talk about this one. And actually do a video in the morning, which I don't usually do. So, especially to do one at my own leisure, you know. Like, I'm not sitting on a porch, you know, I'm not, you know, overlooking anything. I'm not pressed for time, you know. So this one's really out of my own enjoyment. If you see that I'm operating a little bit differently with my hand, and especially this one, a few days ago, like, I think like 3 days ago or whatever, I actually winded up breaking my knuckle, my pinky knuckle. So you see there's a little bit of bruising there, but so that's the only reason why I'm a little hesitant to use this hand. I don't know if you guys realize that this video, So I guess I just wanted to do a little bit of an overlook and give my opinion on this. I still think Buck, is a good company. As they claim to be an all-American knife making company, I'd appreciate their blades, not to say, not to say China on them, implying that the blade was made in China. If you like these type of videos, let me know. I'll make them more often, talking about knives after I use them for a little bit, or even before I use them. I'll give first opinions on them. Well, I guess that's really all I have to say. So I'm going to say, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to say peace.